And mom, I got another question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Or do you have any examples of how we were talking in the lesson in the Bible about you because sometimes husbands or wife, or boyfriend and girlfriend might go against each other if it's for the
Well,
Lord.
there's always jealousy
Yeah, jealousy.
possible between a male and a female parent because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes the male parent doesn't discipline the child.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
so, in the child's mind, they would rather be with the one that doesn't discipline them rather than the one that does.
Yeah.
Well, the mother would probably have been more one to discipline her daughter, but she loved her daughter. And I told the baby, I said, your mama loved you.
Yes.
I said, she was just, you know, afraid, for your safety. I said, and her mother had told her, you could have been hurt, you could have been killed. And
Yes.
she was right.
That's right.
Because there was cars coming in and going out, in that area. I don't know that there was a car going in and out at the same time in that particular situation, but there were cars.
Okay.
And there was danger. But see, the baby didn't know. All she knew was she was running away from her mother. Maybe there was something that the mother did that caused her displeasure.
Yeah.
And she ran to go where her dad was.
Okay.
Well,
Kind of.
it was crossing the walkway where the cars come up and down.
Think the mom made the baby uncomfortable, huh?
Yes.
Scared.
Yes.
I had a similar experience with dad a long time ago. Did dad ever tell you I did something to make him mad and we was on a road trip? I didn't mean to. And he's like, Terry, get over here. And I start running away in the parking lot. I think we were by some a motel or something. And dad ran after me. He was fast too.
Oh, yeah.
But he wasn't able to catch me.
He wasn't.
Because I was gone. I was real young.
Oh.
And he was out of breath. And then, to make a long story short, I went back to him because I felt sorry. And then he me and him, we laughed about it later.
Oh, good.
And he just let me know. He was telling people, don't ever try to chase Terry because it's like he put on his afterburners. but me and my dad, we made peace. I told him I was sorry. I can't remember what it was about.
Well,
But-
it may be just the fact that you wanted to do something at that time
Yeah.
that was risky for him in his mind. And he, as a dad, responsible person, wanted to protect you from any danger.
And glory to God.
That was in his mind. Same way with the mother
Yeah.
yesterday. She was more of a disciplinarian, probably, than the dad was.
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't have known that her child would run away from her to try to go to the dad in a car, and crossing where cars go. The child was only about 3. 3, maybe at the very most, she would have been 4. And I understood the scenario of the mother because I've been a mother, and a
Yes.
mother's heart is so touched by anything that would harm their child
Yes.
in a moment's notice. I mean, it doesn't have to be a long period of time.
And
It's just the way a mother reacts to her child being in danger.
that's right. Oh, but Mom, what I originally asked you, I don't know if you remember, but it's all right, was can you give me an example of a husband and wife or a boyfriend and girlfriend who's let's say they're trying to get close to Jesus Christ, but then they start going against each other. What do you think would cause that as a possibility? Could it be just differences as self, jealousy, misunderstanding maybe? If two lovers go against each other over the Lord, I know it happens sometime. Huh? Maybe one of the spouses might be closer to the Lord than the other.
It's usually understanding or misunderstanding
Okay.
of a spiritual level, because
Yeah.
if one is more I'd say
Experienced?
deeper in
Mm-hmm.
understanding
Okay.
it's possible that there might be differences,
Mm-hmm.
of a conflict
Yeah.
nature. But if there is understanding
Yeah.
that there's not enough differences that you would have a falling out,
Mm-hmm.
you work to preserve what you have rather than
Yeah.
trying to solve why you have the differences, because differences are going to come for the rest of your life. The reason being is you have different experiences through different lenses at different times. You weren't born in the same home and raised by the same people, and even when you are,
That's right.
people have, what people don't understand is that God gave each person
Mm-hmm.
an ability to think.
Yes.
And that does not mean because they may be in the same family that they will think alike.
That's right.
Because they may think differently, and therefore there would be differences.
Yes.
But the fact is that I do recall,
Uh-huh.
and I think my dad handled it a little bit different than my mother.
Okay.
My dad would sort of have what you might call a moment of realization that people are different.
Uh-huh.
My mother may have understood that there would be differences, but she didn't accept the differences because the differences came out of her control.
Yeah.
And Daddy was more one to understand reality,
Yes.
and that was that people are different and they think differently.
That's
I
right.
don't care if they're raised in the same home. My sister and I were raised to live in the same room. We slept in the same room and may have slept in the same bed when we were younger, but from where my remembrance is, mostly we were in the same room, but we had our separate beds that we slept in.
Same room.
But we were
separate
different.
beds. But you were different.
We were different.
That's right.
And even today,
Even today.
we've been proven to be different. People, it's not like that we're so different that people don't recognize that we're sisters. They do. We look alike. I mean, enough.
Yeah.
It's just alike.
Uh-huh.
But our personalities, our reactions to things may be different.
Yeah, and Mom, even you and my dad, y'all were a married couple. You both loved the Lord. You both loved Jesus. You both were Christians. Y'all had differences, huh?
Well, the thing is, though, he and I met in a later time in our lives, so it would have been more likely that would happen than somebody who was raised in the same family.
Mm-hmm.
My sister and I were raised in the same family, but she always had a different, I won't say always, but her take on things must have been different.
Mm-hmm.
And that may still, be something that can be observed, but the main things are that we love one another.
That you love
And
one another.
Nobody
Yes.
could tear us apart.
Amen.
Because we love one another. But as
Yes.
far as having the same opinion,
Mm-hmm.
that may be different. I mean, about different things. And not anything that would cause a division to any great degree. But it would cause, one to wonder, oh, they don't think alike on that. Well, That's normal.
But-
if you're a person, you're
but-
going to have some
but-
things that you've observed that are different from somebody else, or you have a different take on that same matter.
You know, Mom, but think about it. But you and Dad almost got a divorce, but God kept y'all together, huh? Despite your differences, right? Ups and downs.
Well, we never said,
Uh-huh.
I never said
Okay.
that I would divorce him.
Oh, good.
I never said that.
Uh-huh.
But I knew
Mm-hmm.
that under certain circumstances,
Yeah.
we couldn't abide in the same place
True.
at the same time
Mm-hmm.
with the same differences.
Mm-mm.
There had to be some change or some recognition
Yeah.
that this is going to occur. And the question was, what are you going to do about it?
What are you gonna do about it?
And I think that if that was what I can believe,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know positively, I think that there was prayer that went forth,
Prayers, yes.
that we could, at least consult the Lord about when these things happen, what were we going to do at
Yeah.
that time?
You're right, because
And
it's
that we were not going to allow
uh-huh.
the differences
Mm-mm.
to cause us
No.
to throw our commitments, in the trash can.
The vows you made, the promises to God.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right, for better or for worse, for sickness or health.
And it's not always as easy as the words that you say.
True.
It's more about recognizing that a vow to the Lord is a vow to the Lord.
Yes. Bless you, man.
And you may not be able to handle it,
Yeah.
but God can.
God can handle it. He keeps people together like super
Well,
glue.
He does make you realize
Mm-hmm.
that there must be
Mm-hmm.
another pathway that will keep you
Mm-hmm.
in step with the vows that you made.
So even no matter how many times you separate, you live in your own home, go somewhere else, come back together, break up, get back together, huh?
Well, I can't say that because I wouldn't
Okay.
go that far.
Okay.
But what I would say is this: that one thing is necessary,
Mm-hmm.
and that's prayer.
Prayer. Yes.
To give credibility to the fact that people can be different, but not have to be enemies because
Yeah.
they're different.
Don't have to be enemies. Right, Mom? Just because you see something different than he does or vice versa, or, you do things, or it could be about anything, huh?
Yeah, well, I just learned as far as your dad was concerned that was who he was. I mean, we would differ about things, and I just figured like that's him.
Yeah.
That's who he sees this situation as. And it's not like he was against me, but that's what he felt.
Okay.
He wasn't against me at the time.
No.
Might appear that he was against me because he wasn't on the same page with me.
Yeah.
But that was the way he saw the situation.
That's right.
Different from me.
Yeah, Mom, and you both are strong, when you make up your mind about something, when y'all make choices.
Well, you have to be if you're raising children.
And you're
because
independent.
You can't, right.
Both of you.
You can't be wishy-washy. One day you're doing this, and the next day you're not doing that. You're doing something else.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be consistent about the values that you hold dear, and that you're going to live by a certain standard.
Mm-hmm.
That you're not going to okay something that you know that is not a Christian value when you're a Christian.
Yeah.
You're not going to do that. But what you're going to do is at least try to find a place where the two of you can be at peace with one another about what it is, how you feel about certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Because God didn't make people as, what you might call in a cookie cutter thing, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
everybody's got to feel the same way because they're Christians about everything.
Yeah.
That's not real life, because life has experiences for different people, and they've been exposed to different things.
Mm-hmm.
They've also been exposed to different values on different things by different parents, if they are not, you know, man and, I mean, if they're not sister and brother.
That's right.
And even when they're sister and brother, I'll tell you, my dad used to giggle sometimes
Yeah.
because my sisters